At a time of so much tension between police and the African-American community, you're going to hear tonight from an unusual and powerful voice. He's not only a former police chief who knows what it's like to wear the badge, but he's also a black man who lost his own son in a police shootout. Here's my Nightline co-anchor, Byron Pitts.
It's a narrative that keeps playing itself out over and over again. Unarmed black men fatally shot by white police officers. And critics say too often those officers are cleared of all wrongdoing. One of the latest cases in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
That looks like a bad dude, too.
Where a police officer shot and killed 40-year-old Terrence Crutcher last year.
She told the jury she thought he was trying to see if he had a gun in his pocket or in his truck.
She was acquitted just 3 weeks ago, sparking protests.
Arrest! Arrest!
Officer Shelby's lawyer said today in a statement, she is still struggling with the ordeal of being charged with a crime for doing as her training provided and grieving the taking of another human life.
This fits a narrative in America for many people that if you are black and male and you're dealing with a cop who's white, there's a chance you're not going to survive that.
That's cherry picking what's happened in policing. It's not inaccurate.
But former Dallas Police Chief David Brown says it doesn't tell the whole story.
You can choose to pick an equal amount of courageous, brave incidents where officers risk their lives to save people of color, and then that will be your narrative.
Early in his tenure as chief, he says his city narrowly avoided a black versus blue moment that could have divided everyone.
My nephew got shot in the back.
It was the summer of 2012 when a police officer shot a suspect, and right from the start, Chief Brown knew there would be controversy.
The suspect's black, he's unarmed, the officer's white, and there's rumors in the community immediately that the suspect was running away and the white officer shot him in the back. People wanted to believe it.
The chief called a press conference to get the facts out.
He became fatigued and was losing the fight. Rumors were so strong in this community, was so tight-knit that whatever was said on the ground, if not corrected, would be the truth. And everything else afterwards would be a lie and not to be trusted.
But what if the facts in that case didn't land on the side in favor of law enforcement? Would you still have been so willing to give the information?
Yes, because I have a number one principle: be the first to say you're wrong. The issue is trust, hard to earn, easy to lose. And so I knew how fragile the situation was.
The situation that would ultimately define his career and shake the nation happened 4 years later. A day that haunts Chief Brown still.
July 7th, the world changed.
Yes, I hadn't made it a point to come back here because it's just, it's hard to relive.
It was supposed to be a peaceful Black Lives Matter protest in downtown Dallas when it suddenly turned deadly. Over the next hours, the gunmen terrorized the city, singling out and shooting only white officers.
The suspect has exchanged gunfire with us over the last 45 minutes, has told our negotiators that he's gonna hurt and kill more of us.
4 officers were down, a 5th would die, and the shooter had barricaded himself in a building.
I'm gonna have to get back real quick.
Little did we know as we watched in real time, the chief was about to implement a radical plan.
Police chief finally deciding to send in a robot carrying a pound of plastic explosives.
I'd do it again to save our officers' lives.
There was some controversy after the fact how you took him out. An explosive to kill one guy?
Yes, C4. I was gonna put those guys at more risk, or I was gonna have the guts to make a tough call.
At best, in a bad scenario, your career could be over.
Yes, and I knew that. Nothing in me as a person or as a leader could have allowed someone else to take the risk that was clearly for me to take.
That buck stops here mentality, but also his heartfelt candor on a national stage.
We're asking cops to do too much in this country. We are. We're just asking us to do too much. Every societal failure, we put it off on the cops to solve.
Won over the country.
Become a part of the solution. Serve your communities. Don't be a part of the problem. We're hiring. Get off that protest line and put an application in.
He says he's been a police chief in the making his entire life. The middle of 3 boys, he learned about sacrifice, hard work, and giving back from the mother he adores, with the call to rise reinforced in his Oak Cliff church.
How do you explain it? A kid from one of the toughest neighborhoods in Dallas, Texas, to go on to become the longest-serving police chief in modern history?
The biggest takeaway is I'm a product of a mother that just would never quit.
He excelled in high school. We took him back to SOC to reunite with his 12th grade teacher, Miss Cox.
This dynamic person here. This kid wants to learn everything, and you can't give him enough.
I knew this was my shot at getting out of poverty for my family. I knew it.
That straight-A student went on to earn a full college scholarship. But then as Chief Brown, now an ABC News contributor, writes in his new memoir, Called to Rise, in the fall semester of his senior year, his worlds collided.
I was going to just hang out with my buddies like I do every summer. One of the friends I knew, I was bumped into him, say, hey man, let's go play some one-on-one basketball. Blank stare. Then bumped to another kid, same thing. Just blank stare, that just dazed look.
Like zombies?
Yes.
It was the beginning of the crack cocaine era, where whole neighborhoods were destroyed.
5 or 6 rocks of crack cocaine.
I had to do something. On a whim, went down to downtown Dallas and put an application in. Became a police officer.
He joined SWAT and quickly rose to squadron leader.
Because you were a hammer up to that point.
Oh, hardcore. I was old school police, and I was proud of it. Yes, police. No, police when you're being kind. I was old school police. I'd kick in your door, put you in jail if you were dealing drugs.
His success led to a promotion and a surprise assignment in community policing.
And you hated it?
The whole time.
He showed us the storefront where he was stationed.
Hi, how are you? Good, I'm okay. Good to see you.
But then something happened.
Changed the way I thought about policing. You know, I just thought to myself, if I ever got a chance to do it on a broader scale, man, it would be something to see.
The opportunity came when he was named Dallas Police Chief. But then on Father's Day 2010, the unthinkable. His son DJ, who had undiagnosed adult-onset bipolar disease, shot and killed 2 people, one a police officer. DJ himself was killed by a responding officer.
You're right. Out of my tragedy, 2 unexpected blessings emerged.
When you find it when you're at your wit's end, in the most despair and distress you've ever experienced, and it always points you towards serving others.
Tough moments that tested his faith. But adversity did not break him. It prepared him. And nearly 1 year after that massacre, the city he loves is still grateful.
You changed my life, and I'm sure a host of other individuals' lives throughout the world, because you gave us hope. You gave us hope.
You made my allergies act up. I gotta go. That's too
You
sweet.
gave us hope.
Oh,
You gave
Ms.
us
Cox,
hope.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Cox.
I asked about those allergies a little later.
You got a little emotional.
Very. You have your head down grinding out a profession and just trying to do it the right way. You never take the time to pay that much attention to the accolades. I just try to contain myself because I don't want to cry on TV. That's not cool if you're a brother from Oak Cliff. You know, that's just not what I want to try to do.
A brother from Oak Cliff,
What's going on, bro? Where you from, man?
a Texas taste of substance, style, who stayed home to serve. For Nightline, I'm Byron Pitts in Dallas.